Oo.
Sikoy ko kamighimo tolangit, sikoy ko kamighimo to aldoy bulan. Ikaw ang nagbuhat sa kabituunan, ikaw ang nagbuhat sa kalibutan. Manama mawantog ka, warag po ko ilingkoy ko. O Diyos, kahibulungan ka, busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم آمين يا رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم اجمع شامل المسلمين والكريستيان والأمة في مدينة دباو وسلم دائما مجتمعنا هذا بالسلم والأمن والتقدم في بلدنا هذا آمين يا رب العالمين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين يا رب العالمين.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and worship you and give you thanks for all the things you continue to provide for ourselves and our families. Father, we humbly ask for forgiveness for all the times we have offended you, when we forget to acknowledge your presence in the image of our brothers and sisters, and for moments we fail to be good stewards of the blessings you have given us. Continue to guide and protect each one of us, Lord, that we may always walk in the lights of your everlasting love and mercy. Grant us, Father, with your comfort in times of distress and with your strength in times of weakness. Bestow upon us your unending grace and healing, that we may in turn become instruments of gentleness and compassion to others. We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, with the prayer and the intercession of our Blessed Mother. Amen.
Manama mawantog ka, warag po ko ilingkoy ko. O Diyos, kahibulungan ka, busa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko. Busa ikaw lang ang alagaran ko.
Okay, so good morning po sa ating lahat. Live na naman po tayo sa ating Casio Tech Sessions. This is it's a math day, Casio Webinar Technology Session. Hatid pa rin po ng ating Educational Technology Unit at ng Casio Calculators Philippines. I think this is our 10th session and ngayon ay siksik, liglig at nag-uumapaw na naman ang inihandang professional development session sa atin ng EdTech at ng Casio Calculators Philippines. And to formally start our program, let us call on our math exemplary teacher from SDO Makati at ang mag-introduce sa atin ng guest speaker and an overview about our topic. Let's all welcome Ma'am Reverie Vargas, our teacher broadcaster in statistics, Senior High School. Good morning,
Yes,
Ma'am Rev.
good morning, sir. How are you? How's the morning? Hope everyone are having a good time.
Eto,
Yan.
okay naman, ma'am. Nandito ako ngayon sa sa jungle. Joke lang. Nandito ako sa Rain Park, ma'am, kasi may shooting kami. Kasama ko ang aking napakabait na EP. EP Mel.
Wow. Oh, I'm looking
So, ayan.
forward to watching also. And we would like to invite everyone, those who are with us this morning, to please watch DepEd TV because the dedication that the Department of Education are putting into, it's not just putting anything that they have, but all their hearts and efforts on this endeavor. So we would like to invite everyone. Also, this is one of the heart of education nowadays. And nothing but to impart knowledge and nothing but to express quality education for our students and teachers. And I'm happy to be part of it. I'm also excited to
Yeah.
seeing me and seeing you. I've seen some parts of the show, so I'm so excited.
So, ayan.
Ayan.
Nakita na natin yung episode. Yes, Ma'am Rev.
Yes, but today it's going to be a different take, no? We're back.
Yes, ma'am.
We're back. And I miss this. Na-miss ko talaga yung gantong usapan natin. Medyo matagal-tagal yan.
Yes, Ma'am Rev. So,
Okay.
ma'am, kayo na pong
Yes,
bahala.
sir.
And
Yes,
kita-kits ko
yes.
na.
Yes, thank you, Sir Badge. Now, this morning, I know that everyone is excited. And what's in store for us today? Now, well, dear students and colleagues, this webinar is intended for us grade 7 and 8 students and teachers, which covers topics on MELC quarter 1. Now, why? Because we're going to prepare us for a very exciting learning adventure for today. We're going to discuss the MELC quarter 1 weeks 3, 4, and 5 for grade 7 and 8 teachers. So I hope everyone is excited because I know that everyone can relate to this. It will be discussing the integration of technology in teaching mathematics, of course, with the aid of Casio Calculator. So there's a lot of things in store for us, and I hope you're going to watch some of the things and take note of the things that you will consider because this is something that we can help us in teaching mathematics for grade 7 and 8. So I will not keep everyone waiting. I am excited to introduce our speaker this morning. Our speaker is a graduate of Bachelor in Secondary Education, major in Statistics at the University of Makati, who has been perfecting his craft of teaching for over 15 years now. So imagine. He is one of Makati's pride, being a mathematics trainer, coach, facilitator at the National Training for Senior High School Math Teachers for Luzon and Vismin last November 2019. So we are blessed to have our speaker this morning. And we're going to take on a lot of things from him. So let's take note of everything, okay? He is awarded as one of the 2015 MTAP Exemplary Mathematics Teachers for Secondary, currently teaching at Makati Science High School. My dear students and colleagues, let us welcome, with virtual applause, our speaker for this morning's webinar, a good friend of mine, a confident and a competent teacher. Let us all welcome Mr. Ralmond Roca. Hi,
Ayan.
Sir Roca.
Hello. Good morning
Yes.
po sa lahat. Good morning, Ma'am Reb. Actually, let me just, parang medyo may konting mas like lang doon sa introduction. Parang, I'm not a major of statistics, but mathematics. Bachelor
Major
Secondary
of Mathematics. Ay, okay. Sorry.
Pero, thank you very much, Ma'am Reb.
Yes.
Nagulat ako na ikaw ang kasama ko today. Yan. So,
Surprise.
yun, thank you. Mhm.
So,
Yung-
yes, take it on, sir. I know a
Yes,
lot we're going to learn a lot, and I'm going to take note of everything. Thank you so much for being
thank
with us.
you. Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
so. See you later. And good morning, dear teachers and students. Ma'am, good morning po sa lahat. And I'm Mr. Rocco po. And I would like to take this opportunity first before I begin my session that thank you. I would like to present first my slides. Yan. Saan ba ang aking slide? So for today, yan. For today, it's a different thing because we're going to tackle more on, sabi nga ni Ma'am Remy, all about grade 7 and 8 maths siya with some topics in weeks 3, 4, 5. So with the help of Casio Calculator. Before we proceed on that, let me just thank Casio Calculators for inviting me again for this opportunity again to share my knowledge with you. And then for also for EdTech, Sir Bads, marami pong salamat sa inyo. And for inviting me as well. And then, ang maganda dito kasi, yung Casio kasi is helping teachers then for professional development. Ang maganda doon. So, let me just share ito na yung naka-share na yata ang aking screen. Okay, so let's start. So before we proceed with the session, I want you to download first. Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Kita ko po yung mga comments. Download first the FX-ESPLUS emulator. Yan, the second edition emulator. Makita niyo po dito. And then, type in edu.casio.com software license index.php. So, I'll give you 2 minutes dun sa mga wala pa pong emulator. Pwede niyo po akong sabayan later sa pag-discuss para yung talk na to is about for next week na rin. Pwede niyo nang magamit itong lesson na to for next week, week 3 and weeks 3, 4, and 5. So, ito po yung tsura ng Casio. So, while you are downloading the software, so let me just give you a glimpse of this Casio. This Casio emulator, maganda rin kasi na when we have our lesson, maganda na may emulator. The emulator serves as a guide for students kung paano niya gagawin. Tama po ba? Ang magandang features dito, syempre, it's not like the usual na may graph, right po? Kasi not all can afford naman the graphing calculator. Pero this one is maganda siya kasi yung features niya maganda din. Meron ding may features nito, syempre, na for students, intended for students. It's also, you can use this for your inside your classroom or inside your virtual classroom. Okay, now I'm going to use this one. Ayan. Makita nyo naka-pop up display para mas makita ng mga bata kung ano yung tinatype natin. Tandaan, kung ano po yung nasa screen ng calculator, ito rin din po yun. Yan. Naka-magnify siya. So maganda na nama-magnify siya yung inyong tinuturo. So, I think, tapos na yata po kayo mag-download. By the way, shoutout sa mga, habang nag-download tayo, shoutout sa mga kaibigan ko dyan. Right? Okay, I think okay na tayo. So now, before we start with the session, syempre, alam nyo na yung lessons, right? The students knows about already the lesson ng weeks 1 and 2. So, para sa mga teachers po, dear teachers, actually may parents din tayo nanonood ngayon and also students. Okay, punta po tayo dito. We have an activity, napakagandang activity nito. So, I'm going to use Slido. So, for those na may cellphone or laptop, you may join at slido.com. So, the username or the code is 53327. 53327. Hihintayin ko po kayo ha. Hihintayin ko po kayo. Yan, I'm just going to activate. Sige, dun sa mga may cellphone po or laptop para mas interactive, pwede nyo rin pong gawin to sa mga estudyante ninyo. Since in your virtual classroom, pwede nyo siyang gawin. So, antayin ko po kayo. Join na tayo. Yan. Thank you po. By the way, nakapost na po ang emulator, yung link ng emulator po sa ating Facebook page, Untitled EdTech. So, shout out tayo. Yan, shout out tayo kay Ayun, sa mga kay Desiree Joy Gumapak. Yan, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yan. So meron tayong isa, si Joy, si Ma'am Joy, sino to? Si RSA, si Glenn Gilongos. Thank you for joining. Sige lang po, 3 participants pa lang tayo. I would like to thank also our dear Math Supervisor, Sir Michael Lee, the ever supportive Sir Michael Lee, my department head, Sir Mark Vidalio, Sir Olops, yan. Tapos yung mga kasama ko po sa DepEd, Ma'am Bernie, yan, yung team po namin, yan. Good morning! Yan, so 4 pa lang, join lang po tayo, join lang. Kumaga maganda din na ito ay magagamit niyo din ito sa loob ng classroom. I know some of you knows about Slido.com, right? So mga hindi pa po familiar, join po tayo. We have 5 participants already. 5 na po siya. Yan, ayan ko lang. Yan, 5 pa lang po. Join tayo, 6. Kahit mga 20 lang siguro or 50. Sana naman ng 50 po. Good morning po from, shout out po from, watching from Ozami City Division. Wow, ang haba ng range ng ating nasasaga. From, hello po, Sir Elmo Bakugan from Division of Guimaras. Wow. Sir, idol ko si Mark Vidalio. Wow. Sir Mark Vidalio. Yan, watching from Bombongan Elementary School. Yan, we have 10 participants na po. Yan, marami. Thank you po. From SDO La Carlota City. Taga dyan po ang aking mga magulang. La Carlota City, Negros Occidental. Sige po, keep on joining. 13. Good morning. Sino po ba mga dapat nating... Yan, from Nueva Vizcaya. Thank you very much. Yan, Sir Raymond Malana, Sir Paeng, I think, DG, Sir Ma'am DG, Bina, thank you for joining. Yan, so, misamis ako din. Nakakatuwa po kasi yung mga participants natin, hindi lang siya from Luzon or Metro Manila, hanggang Visayas, Mindanao. Hello po sa inyong lahat from Northern Samar. Yes, thank you po very much. So, I think, pwede na ito 14 para makita ng mga audience natin. Paano bang meron sa Slido? So, yung mga 14 participants natin, are you ready? Ready na po ba tayo? I think you're ready. So, join pa. Sige, gawin natin mga kahit 20 man lang. O, di para marami din. 20. Okay. Join. Jason Belsa, thank you for joining. Sir Glenn Gilongos, right? Raymond Manala, Jen, JJ, RSA. And thank you very much for joining. Oh, let's start. Okay, yan. Thank you very much. Let's start. Okay. For 30 seconds, how many subsets are there in set P equals X subset X is a counting number where X is less than 8. It's a recall of your weeks 1 and 2 for grade 7 and 8. Tingnan natin. How many subsets are there in set P equals X subset X is a counting number where X is less than 8. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Tingnan natin ang mga nagsagot. Oops. So we have 10% for 256, 30% for 128, and 40% for 8, and then 20% for 7. Okay, tingnan natin ngayon ang sagot. The correct answer is 128. Why? To get the number of subsets, di ba, we use 2 raised to n, where n is the number of elements. Ano bang mapwede doon? These are counting numbers, 1, 2, hanggang 7. So, 2 raised to 7. Correct. Thank you. Next item tayo, ha? Congratulations. Ang bilis si Sir AJT or si Ma'am AJT, I don't know. Thank you very much. Ang bilis, 15 seconds. Okay, next. Join po tayo ulit. Join, join, join. So sa slide po, mag-join kayo ulit. Join lang ng join. Para, kumbaga, yung mga bata, hindi kagad nagpo-proceed dun sa next question. Yun po ang maganda ng slide din. Kumbaga, yan. Hihintayin natin sila maging ready ulit. Compose ba? Iko-compose na yung mga sarili nila. Okay na tayo? So may mga bago tayo. Sir Mark Henry Nieto. Thank you. Okay na? Let's proceed. Question number 2. It's a 4 question. In a survey done to 100 professionals, 54 like hot coffee, 62 like cold coffee, and 5 don't drink coffee. How many likes both hot and cold? 18 seconds. So ito ay kaka-lesson nyo lang last week, right? For week 2, I think. Okay, time's up. Okay, so some of you answered 116, some of you 95, 43% ang 21, 14% ang 8. So ano bang tamang sagot? The correct answer is 21. Yes, it's 21. Because mabilisan lang to, 100 siya, ayaw ng 5, so 95, right? And in the sum of 54 and 62 na both, like hot coffee and cold coffee, i-add nyo yun, and then subtract it to 95. So the answer is 21. 21 yung gusto nang may hot and cold. Next. Third question tayo. Sir Glenn Gilongos. Congratulations on 21 seconds. Sino nakikita siya? Okay, next. Join po tayo ulit. Third question. So 4 questions po ito. Yan, marami na. Medyo may mga bagong pangalan na tayo nakita. Hello, shout out kay Duterte. Sir Duterte, Mitzi, Apolgara, Pinti, yan, Sir Mark Henry Neto. Thank you, Sir Glenn talaga. Joining, thank you very much. Okay. So let's proceed now. Start na tayo. Okay, how about this one? Which of the following is equivalent to 6 raised to 77 minus 6 raised to 76? So wala sa slide doon ng exponent. So 6, correct yan. 6 raised to 77 minus 6 raised to 76. So last week, I think, factoring or the first week? Factoring. So it's for grade 8. Yan. Time's up. Time's up. Okay. So most of you answered 6 raised to 77 minus 76. Tingnan ba natin yung tamang sagot? Kung yan ba ang tamang sagot? The correct answer is 6 raised to 76 times 5. Because the common factor for 6 raised to 77 minus 6 raised to 76 is 6 raised to 76. So matatanggal yon. So matitira na lang doon is 6 minus 1, which is 5. Congratulations. Sino kaya ang ating nag-lead? Again, galing talaga ni Sir Glenn. Grabe, 14 seconds. So nakita niyo siya, 14 seconds. So our leader board natin, according to that, Sir Glenn. Thank you very much. And for the last one, last na lang ito, mga kasama. Sige, join ulit tayo ng quiz. Kasi grade 7 and grade 8 yung cover natin eh. Yan, ID po si Sir Mark Vidalio. Hello sa aking department head. Idol ko din yan. Hello, yan. Okay na? Nakakatuwa. Yan, dumadami na sila. So, 16, baka meron pa. Last na natin to. Okay, so, start. Okay, start. What is the value of C if quantity x minus 2 is the factor of x squared plus 8x plus c? What is the value of C if quantity x minus 2 is the factor of x squared plus 8x plus c? So 16 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Let's reveal. Oh, 50% ang negative 20. I think, yes, correct. It's negative 20. So, there are different ways on how to do this. Pero, syempre, ang ginagawa niya, mag-isip yung bata ng factor, right? So, correct. Again, Sir T.S. Pang or Ma'am T.S. Pang, congratulations with 13 seconds. So, thank you for joining sa ating session, right? For this review. Now, syempre, okay, let me just reiterate on that na maganda rin na nare-review din or recap yung bata. Tama? Pwede siyang gawin sa asynchronous ninyo, pwede rin naman, for formative assessment, maganda rin yun. Now, with the help of Casio Calculator, what we're going to do for today, for this session, we're going to talk about week 3. Week 3 performs in the MELT, performs fundamental and series of operations on integers. Actually, ito yung medyo struggle din sa ating teachers kung paano mapapaliwanag sa bata ng maayos on how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. Kasi ito yung parang pinaka-core or the core of math, right? Kasi kapag hindi ito nakuha ng bata, medyo hirap ang bata dito, right? Hihirapan siya sa mga susunod na mga lessons or concepts. So what we're going to do now is another approach on how to tackle or discuss operations and integers na with the use of calculator. Okay? Let's proceed na. Start na tayo. So I have here the emulator here. So if you're going to notice, so go mag-explore yung bata. Explore natin, dear teachers, pa-explore natin sa bata. Kasi we all know that, I think, kahit po kami, sa asynchronous po namin ay, for the synchronous namin time, 1 hour lang kami per week. How about other teachers or other schools that only 30 minutes per week? And I believe ganun ang nangyayari. Right? And then, tandaan mo, i-compress mo yan in 1 week. Pag kinompress mo siya in 1 week, 30 minutes, paano ko i-explain sa bata ng hindi naman mabilis, pero nandun yung sustansya ng lesson. So therefore, with the use of this calculator, pwede natin siyang gawin. So for example, exploring integer addition. Again, prerequisite nito ay naibigay nyo na sa kanila ang absolute value number. So we have already the idea on how to do absolute value numbers, right? And then for set 1 here, we have your table here. Look at my cursor. Set 1, it's like the first number is positive, by the way. Let me emphasize, nilagyan ko na siya ng positive to emphasize na positive siya. But syempre, sabihin natin sa bata na pwede naman kahit wala na yan. Okay? So, to give emphasis. So, in the first call, on the first set, in the first call, we have positive number. Second number is positive number as well. And then we get the sum. Sabi ng bata, ay, dali naman yan. Ano lang yan, sum. So, familiar sa bata yan. So, we can get the sum of 13 plus 21. Siyempre, kahit huwag muna yung calcu. Palagay mo muna, 13 plus 21. So, they are familiar with that. It will be what? That will be 34. Right? Familiar ang bata dyan. And then, 20 plus 5. Kasi sabi addition eh. Plus. So, lalagyan natin plus. 20 plus 15, that will be 35. Okay. And then, syempre, bibilisan na yan ng bata. Sir, alam na namin yan. Okay, ready. So therefore, ito na yung magiging sagot, di ba? Mabilis yan, 36, 52, 45. But, how about this second table? Ito na yung kakaiba. Second table, hindi pa nila alam yan on how to add these negative numbers. Yun yung problem doon. Ngayon, sa kanya, ay, hindi na namin yan alam. Paano namin yan i-add? So with the use of calculator, by the way, hindi siya, dahil sa papakita natin sa calculator kung paano nangyari. So therefore, we can have negative 32, negative 13 rather, plus, yan, when you discuss, write the grouping symbol, negative 21, or parenthesis, negative 21, and then, that will be, oops, hindi siya kita, umurang tayo, baba ka dito, yan, negative 34. See? It's negative 34. Now, dun sa pangalawa, lalagyan na negative 20, pwede nyo rin yung, sabi nyo, class, pwede natin siyang Pwede kayong sumabay, pwede yung sabihin sa mga bata. Negative 20 minus plus negative 15 is negative 35. Remember, high calculator lang pala yan eh. Pwede naman i-calculator natin. No. Ang in natin dito ay, ang calculator is not just only to verify answers, but rather also generate rules. Kaya niya mag-generate ng rule kasi ito ay nakaprogram na for better understanding ng ating mga bata. Tama po ba? So if you're going to notice, pag pinlagyan namin yan, may nangyayari. And then, syempre, para mabilis tayo, kaya nyo na yan, negative 36 dear teachers, negative 36, negative 4, and then, dun ka na magtatanong. Anong gagawin na? I-impose natin yung question doon. It's like a discovery method. Kung mapapansin ng bata, on the set 1, puro positive numbers. On the second set, puro negative numbers. And then, the result for the set 1 is positive, and then the result 1 is negative. So, let the student observe the sets or the table. So, we need to impose the question, how do we add now integers of the same sign? Doon na lalabas. So, sabihin mo doon, integers of the same sign. Therefore, since the first number and the second number are positive, the answer is positive. And on the second set 2, since the first number is negative and the second number is negative also, therefore, the answer or the sum is also negative. So therefore, makakapag-generate tayo dyan ng conclusion, doon na lalabas yung bata. Kumbaga, hindi na kailangan ng mga pictures muna. Kumbaga, essence nyo yung sustansya na nandun na, yung juice nun, nandun na. And then, pwede natin sabihin na class, okay, these are the steps in adding integers with the same sign. I denote this as 2A's. Ano yung 2A's? What are these 2A's? Add and affix. When we say add and affix, add meaning you add the numbers. For example, this is negative 13 and negative 21. You just add the numbers. So 13 and 21. So same sign, 13 plus 21. And then affix. Affix the sign which is that if it's a negative, both negative, then negative. And then if it's both positive, then positive. Ganun po ang mangyayari for this. So, mapapansin nyo ngayon dito, yung use ng calculator dyan, siya na yung nagbibigay sa atin ng rule. And then, mapapansin ng bata na, oo nga pala, tama nga. Kasi yun ang dito sa Casio Calculator na negative 35. Right? Or negative yung lumalabas kapag same sign. Yun po yun. Now, how about so same sign yun. Paano kung ibang sign? Ito yung different sign naman of two integers. So let's take this example on set 3. The set 3, so for example, we have the first number, the second number. We can do this in pair din. Actually, pwede nyo namin ito ibigay sa mga bata sa not only on class, but rather in a performance task. Maganda dito. Maganda din na performance task dito ng bata with the use of calculator, right? Diba? So maganda ibigay sa bata na to. So using your calculator, add the first number and the second number in each row and place it in the third column with the label sum. So again, sum again, we need to get the sum. So add and add. So with the use of calculator again, that will be 1,267 plus, again, parenthesis, negative 560. So the answer now is 697. Right? 697. And then next is 419. I'll do the two examples. Kayo sa bata na paggawa niyo yung mga remaining examples. Pwedeng ganon para maging interactive din. Negative 587. So, negative 168. Again, wala pang kaalam-alam ang bata kung paano ang rule dito. Nag-i-input lang muna siya sa calculator. Again, ito ay pang-generate lang ng rule. Hindi ito dapat ay magiging what I mean is, dun lang didepende ang bata. Right? Again, pang-generate lang ito ng rule. So, 697 and minus 168. The next step is Get the absolute value of each number in columns 1 and 2 and write your answers in columns 4 and 5. So pakukuha na, since marunong na sila mag-absolute value, pakuha na natin yung mga absolute value niyan. So the absolute value of the first number, first column is 1,297. The second one is 419. The third, on the second column, we have 570. So the absolute value of negative 570 is 570, and the absolute value of negative 587 is 587. Ito na ngayon. So, and then let the students do the remaining part. Okay po? Let the students do the remaining part. So what's the next step? The next step now is get the difference of the two numbers in columns 4 and 5, pero instruct the student that they need to get the difference using the bigger value minus the smaller value. So that will be 1,297 minus, kitang ko lang to kasi hindi nakita po ang konti. Yan. 1,297 minus, so we need to get the difference, or like the minus 570. So equals 727. Sorry. Wait lang. Equals 1,267 rather. So mali po ako dito. Yan, yan. Sorry. 1,267 minus 570. So original natin. So that will be 697. Sorry for that. And then, also, mapapansin nyo na, okay, 419, 547, so bigger value minus a smaller value. So mangyari, 547 now minus 419. So magtataka na ba't ganun yung extraction ni sir? 547 naman, 87. Minus 419. So that will be 168. Ayan. 168. So may sum, may difference. And then the students will do the remaining part. Ito siya ngayon. Yan. So 171, 2,351, negative. Now, ang mangyayari dyan ngayon, ipapakompare natin. So look at now, the sum. Ito talagang yung ating hinahanap, di ba? The sum here. Ito yun. Kasi compare natin siya ngayon doon sa ating difference. Sa ano na obtain yung difference? The use of absolute value. So, what do you mean by that? Ipapaunawa natin. What happened? Right? Anong nangyari? Negative 168 yan, tapos 168 yun. Hindi ko sinabing kailangan pareho sila. Right? Papa-observe natin sa bata. Therefore, i-impose mo ngayon yung question na to. Compare the results of columns 3 and 6. And then, kita nila, 697, and then the difference is 697. Pero sa sum na negative 168, yung difference 168. Bakit naging ganun? Magkaiba ang sign. And then you're going to impose the question, what is the sign of the bigger absolute value? If you're going to notice in this case, now, the sign of the bigger absolute value here, right? For example, this one, 1,267 is positive. The difference is positive, di ba? Nakuha natin. And then, pero yung sum nito ay 697 positive. Right? But for 419 plus negative 587, the bigger absolute value, the sign of the bigger absolute value is 547, 168, pero ang sagot dito, negative 168. So ano nangyayari? Doon na lalabas ngayon yung concept na, may pattern. May pattern. We're generating patterns here. That, okay, when I get the absolute value of negative 348, and then the absolute value of 519, and when I get the difference of the bigger absolute value 519 minus the smaller absolute value 348, it's 171. And then the sign ay positive din kasi the bigger absolute value is positive. And same thing with the negative. Look at this one. Negative 5,546 Tapos ito din, makikita ng mga bata yan. Ma-realize sila, pag ginawa ko yung absolute, ginawa ko yung difference nila, bigger value minus the smaller value, ang nangyayari is 2,103, kinukuha niya yung what? The sign of the larger absolute value. Doon na ngayon lalabas ang conclusion or pwede mo na i-present sa class na ano ba ang rule in adding integers of different signs. So dito na ngayon lalabas yung acronym na ASH. What do you mean by ASH? Absolute value, subtract higher number. Meaning to say, when you do absolute value first step is absolute value, get the absolute value of each number, and then for S, subtract the number with the lower absolute value from the bigger absolute value. And then, after nun, H, what's that? Higher number. Affix the sign of the number with the higher absolute value in the answer. So, hindi malilito ang bata because guided siya ng ASH. Kumbaga, ang nangyari is, nag-explore tayo, tapos magbibigay ka pa ng acronym na ASH, absolute value, subtract, and higher number. Yun po for adding integers with different sign. Now, paano naman po pag subtraction? Okay, but before we proceed on subtraction, pwede itong magandang activity na pwede natin gawin. Kumbaga, this activity is called that spaces above us. Ang maganda dito, yung sagot ng bata, mag-generate ng sagot ng bata with a using calculator. Pwede ito yung gamitin sa inyong virtual classroom using Zoom or using Google Classroom. Pwede nyo gamitin yung Jamboard, pwede nyo ibigay yung link. And for Zoom, pwede nyo gamitin ng bata annotation. Kasi pwedeng grupo, yun ang maganda doon. Pwedeng by group siya. Pwede nyo gamitin na gano'n. So, what's the instruction here? Fill each empty box so that the number in the square will be the sum of the pair of numbers beneath the box. So, meaning to say that, ako muna gagawa, negative 8 plus 6, that will be negative 2, right? And then, add natin yun. 6 plus 15, alam na ng bata, 21. And then, 15 plus negative 11, that will be 4. See? Sila nag-generate ng answer, so sila rin mag-generate ng question. And then, negative 2 plus 21, that will be 19. And then, 21 plus 24, that will be 25. Right? And then, 19 plus 25, that will be 44. So, see, ang ganda, paunahan. Kumbaga, pwede rin siyang collaborative sa loob ng virtual classroom ninyo. So, maganda siya na pang-exercise. So, again, mabilis din yan. So, halimbawa, kayo naman, bigyan ko kayo ng time para sagutin ko. Sige, go. Sige po, extort natin. Pwede natin siyang gamitin. So, 5 plus negative 9, 19 plus negative 32, nag-degenerate siya. So, para siyang tower. Tapos, sino mauna? Maganda pong ganun ng pwede natin gamitin sa classroom. Yan. So, I'm giving you time. Yan. Pwede nyo pong sa chat, sige, doon sa ating comment section sa FB, pwede nyo pong ilagay yung pinaka-answer this. Ano kaya ang answer para dito? On top. Yan. What will be the final answer for that box? Pwede nyo pong ilagay. Diba? Paunahan. Ano kayang number? Yung nandun sa box na yun. Sige, antayin ko po kayo. Sige. Ready na? Pwede natin gawin yun. Okay. So, ano kaya? Mag-aantay po ako ng sagot galing sa inyo. Ano kayang number yan? Sige po, from our audience. Hello, shout out po sa aking supervisor, sa aking mga taga Ma'am Eden Samadan, by the way. Thank you for your support po. Makati Science High School, and also to my colleagues po sa school. So ano ko kaya? So pwede natin gamitin ito. Yan. So medyo ata mahina ang akin. So pwede nyo pang gamitin po yun. Pwede nyo gawin yung mga ganyang exercises. Now, that's only for addition. So we don't have time na. Proceed tayo sa next. How about this exploring integer subtraction? In integer subtraction, ito yung bata ulit, calcu ulit. gagamitin ng Calcu, pero ito yung pinakahirap ang bata kung paano nila ma-realize yung mga paano mag-subtract ng integer. Aminin natin, ito yung struggle natin. Struggle din ng bata, struggle na paano explain, struggle din ng bata kung paano ma-solve ito. So therefore, what we're going to do is same thing. We need to get the difference again of this. So observe, 8 minus negative 6, and then negative 6 minus negative 12, hindi alam yan ng bata ha. Ilalagay lang natin siya sa Calcu. Discovery approach tayo. So 8 minus the quantity of negative 6, so here's the sign for negative 6, so equals 14. So pwede natin ilagay dyan ay 14. And then negative 6, so quantity, negative 6 minus negative 12 equals positive 6. See? And then pwede nang gawin niya ng bata with the answers. Yan, provide na natin answers. And then 68 and then negative 102, negative 47. Now, in this case, for the second table here, anong ngayon ang mangyayari? Ganun ulit. So, it's sum. So, therefore, dahil alam nila ang concept na ng sum, madali na lang yan sa estudyante. Right? Ano yun? 8 plus 6, same sign, that will be 14. See? And then, negative 6 plus 12, okay, magkaiba ang sign. So, absolute value ulit. Alam na nila na ang sagot dyan ay 6. So, madali na lang may paintindi sa bata yon. Now, I'll provide the answers here with 68, negative 102, and negative 47. Now, the question now, ito na ngayon. Ito na ngayon. Ito yung crucial. Kung mapapansin ng bata, we're going to notice yan. Paunawa natin sa bata, sa ating mga estudyante, na okay, 14, when we get the difference, when we get the sum here, 14, paano nangyari yun? Parehas pala sila. Okay, ipaintindi natin that minus sign, see, in difference, the minus sign is what we call, the sign is the operation, right? The sign of the operation. However, di ba, minus also, or negative also, is always, the notion for the negative sign is always the opposite. Kukunin natin yung opposite. Ito yung magandang point na ang minus sign or negative sign, you get the opposite of that given number. So, paunawa natin sa bata na negative, what is now the opposite of negative 6? The second number, that is positive 6. Kaya siya nag-plus here. And then, the negative here, since opposite siya, negative. What is the opposite of negative 12? And that is positive 12. See? Ano nangyayari? However, also here, for example, minus 2. Negative 65 minus negative 37. O see, on the fourth example, what is now the opposite of 37? That's negative 37. So, ano nangyayari dito? We get what? What? Ano mangyari doon? Ano nangyari sa first number? We just keep the first number and then we switch the sign operation minus into plus, yun lalabas doon, and then the operation, and then ano mangyayari noon? Dito sa second number, magbabago siya ng sign. And then proceed to addition. Doon nalalabas yung mga ganong idea ng bata na yun, referring to the second table, how are the results obtained? And then, we can now show to the students that, pwede ko palang gawin yun. Now, the steps in subtracting integers are KSOA. So, yung una natin kanina, 2 A's. Pangalawa naman, ASH. Pangatlo naman, KSOA. Anong KSOA? Keep, switch, opposite, and add. K is for keep the first number. See? The minuend, keep the first number. S, switch the subtraction to addition. So this minus sign, the operation, magiging plus. And then opposite, write the opposite of the subtrahend or the second number. From negative 6, naging 6 siya. And then, alam na ng bata paano mag-add. And then add the resulting numbers. Kung yan man ay same sign or different signs. Okay? Yun ang maganda doon. So, with the use of calculator here, diba, na hindi siya nag-verify, nag-generate yung rule ng mabilis. Na kahit wala nang picture. Right? Nakikita niya na, yun pala yung rule using this method. Ang maganda, discovery approach. Lagi. Kahit paano, kahit virtual pa tayo, discovery approach pa rin yun nangyari. Hindi yung, ito na yung rule, ito na yung rule, ito lang yun, ito lang yan, bigay ko na kagad. No. The students must learn also through discovery pa rin. Kahit pandemic. Maganda rin tong performance task. Okay, now, dear teachers, isang sa mga maganda ring game natin ay tinatawag nating name. Pwede niya ng across learning areas to, right? So for example, what is the name of the fourth highest mountain in the world? Decode the answer by solving the following subtraction problem. Subtraction to, write the letter that corresponds to the item in the box provided below. So see, pwede rin tong hindi lang pang math, pang social studies pa, right? Bagong kaalaman. Ako, nung ginawa ko to, parang bago sa kanila, ano nga yun, di ba? Ang alam lang natin, Mount Everest, yung first, and di natin alam yung ibang fourth. At least, we give students trivia. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng 1 minute siguro, or 2 minutes to answer this one. And then also, you introduce the word from, less than, right? And then, diminish, decrease, minus. Dun pa lang is, hindi lang yung 99 minus ganito. Hindi. We use the words also to describe minus sign or negative sign, right? So, bigyan ko kayo ng 2 minutes and then type nyo po kung ano yung sagot. So, ibig sabihin, halimbawa, subtract negative 33 from 99. So, 99 minus negative 33, anong letter that corresponds, this O corresponds to what answer here? And then it will form a word referring to the fourth highest mountain in the world. Ano kaya ang fourth highest mountain in the world? Hindi ko rin yan alam eh. Ngayon ko lang siya na-discover. Sige po. Hihintayin ko po kayo sumagot. Sagot po tayo. Yan. Tingnan ko kung paano nyo gawin. So again, kapag na-master na ng bata yun, hindi kasi, I'm not encouraging students, when we are not encouraging students na puro calcu lang. Again, ang calcu po ay aid pantulong to explain further to students. And I think we have also viewers from private schools. And I think yun ang ginagamit ng mga private schools also. Inclusive at lahat. So, tingnan po natin, mag-antay po tayo ng ating sagot habang nag-aantay tayo kung ano ba ang fourth highest mountain in the world. Yan. Sige po, answer po tayo. Thank you for staying po sa inyong lahat. And lalo po sa mga teachers from grade 7 and grade 8 all over the Philippines. Marami pong salamat. Yan. Ano po kaya yung word na yon? Sige, i-comment po ninyo sa section box natin. Tingnan ko nga po nagsasagot po tayo. Diba kasi kahit po kayo naging interactive din, sumasagot din kayo. Sige po. Hello po, Sir Arthur Ferrer, right? Watching. And good morning po. Pasensya na. Hindi ko kayo mabasa lahat. Thank you for staying po. Ayan. I think meron na. Correct. Meron pong sumagot. The correct answer now is the fourth highest mountain now is, you're correct po. Very good po, Ma'am Desiree. The correct answer is Lhotse. See? L-H-O-T-S-E. Ibig sabihin this for L, 79, H, negative 95, and so on po, Lhotse. What is Lhotse? Actually, sinerch ko pa yung pronunciation niya. It's not Lhotse, but Lhotse. Para daw siyang Lao-tse, Lao-tzu. It's in the borderline of Nepal and Tibet with a height of 27,940. See? So maganda rin na exercise din to. Or pwede nyo nang gawin siyang game. Or pwede rin siyang pang-asynchronous online. Or asynchronous, pwede siyang i-online na asynchronous siya. Pwede po yun. Diba? Magandang mag-generate tayo ng games. So, now, how about multiplication? In multiplication po, ito kasi yung maganda rin na we not only on the cognitive domain and psychomotor domain as well as also affective domain. Minsan, maganda rin na tinatouch natin affective ng bata. Ito yung magandang activity dito. Kumaga, pwede natin siyang gawin. Now, let's explore. Since, okay, love or hate. Sige, if you love to love, then, ano po kaya? It's like a syllogism. It's like a logic that if you love to love, kung gusto mo, ano ba? If you love to love other, then you, yes, lost te. Lost te. It's lost te, ma'am. Yes. Ngayon lang po nagpapasok yung aking mga comments. Thank you, ma'am. Carmencita. Yan. Ano yun? If you love to love, then you, sige, type nyo po yung mga sagot natin dyan. If you love to love, then you love, right? Right? Then you love. And then, if you hate to hate, dito muna tayo. If you hate to hate, kumbaga, ayaw mo sa mga nega, ayaw mo sa pangit na ugali, ayaw mo sa mga pangit na nangyayari, anong gusto natin? Anong gusto mo? Diba? You love. Right? You chose to love. Diba? You choose to love. If you hate to hate, then you love. See? And then, if you love to hate, love mo mag-hate, gusto mo lagi na maghanap ng mali, maghanap ng mga something na pwedeng sabihin sa iba na in a different way, right? Then you hate, diba? Right? If you love to hate, then you hate. Totoo yun. And if you hate to love, ayaw mong positibo. So saan ka? Ayaw mong positibo ka ng pananaw sa buhay. Then you also hate. Right? So ang ganda. Sa panahon ngayon ng pandemic, ang kailangan natin ay love, love, love. Tama po ba? Love, love, love ang kailangan natin. Ayaw natin ng we hate to hate because we need love. Tama po ba? Right? So, ma-associate natin to sa multiplying and dividing integer. Wherein the love here tells us it should be positive and the hate here is negative. See? When you multiply, if you love positive times positive, the answer is positive. See? If you multiply positive love and negative, then it's negative. See? When you multiply negative to positive, then it's negative. Pwede nyo pong gawin yan. And you hate negative, the answer is nagiging plus siya. Right? If you hate to hate, ayaw mong mag-hate. Ayaw mo na mga, sino ba namang gusto na lagi na lang na negative, di ba? So pag laging na ayaw mo nun, so mag-love ka na lang. You choose to love. Right? So yun, pwede natin sabihin yun sa mga bata. And then, dun mo na ilalabas yun, yung rules in multiplying integers. And rules in multiplying integers, same sign is positive. And then, same sign also for dividing integers, same rule, positive. And then different signs, when you multiply two integers with different signs, it's negative, as well as dividing different signs of two integers, that will be negative. So napakaganda. So dun na mag-end yung operations on integers. So, ganun na ang mangyayari. Now, yun na yung ganun na yung pwede natin gawin. Now, hindi naman siyempre, yun yung sa standard natin. Siyempre, may mga magagaling tayong bata. Alam natin yan. Siyempre, we provide to give provision for students na magagaling. Bigyan natin sila ng additional activity. Baka ang dali naman, right? Kaya dun sa module natin, binibigyan natin sila ng additional activity. At pwede nyo rin itong ibigay as an additional activity for your students na magagaling. So, inclusive nga, di ba? So, therefore, for example, in this case, if A asterisk B is defined as 2A, quantity 2A raised to B, minus B raised to A, assume that this one, alam na ng bata, yung operation and also the series of operations dun sa mga advanced students para hindi rin sila maboring. So, what value is associated with 7 asterisk 6? So, ang mangyayari niyan, magkukumpit ang bata. Pero dun sa mga gustong explore na mga bata, na yung mga, kumbaga, hindi naman mabilis, pero eager mag-solve nito, you may answer this one. So, pwede natin gawin as this one as, okay, i-introduce ko yung calculator. Kung paano siya i-solve, tapos lalaruin nyo na lang siya, lalaruin nyo na lang yung given. Dear teachers, ito ang maganda sa Casio. Medyo na-excite ako dito kasi, kumbaga, pag ginawa nyo to, ay, kahit anong given ko pala, pwede na. Right? So, for example, quantity 2A. So, type ko lang ha, 2A, 2, alpha A, tapos, raise siya ng B. So, B, alpha B, alpha B, yan. And then minus B, alpha B, raised to A, yan. Then, ang mangyayari dyan ay, ilagay natin yan, right? So, A asterisk B, ibig sabihin, 7 is associated with A, right? 7 now, here, is associated with A, and B is associated with 6. So, lalagay natin yan. Pero press calc, and after typing this one, press calc, lalabas dyan A. Ano ba yung value ng A? Di ba 7? Pag niyo pong tingnan tong 2, ibig sabihin yan po yung dating ginamit. So, 7, type 7, then press equals, yun na yun. And then for B, hindi siya 11/7, kundi siya ay 6, right? So, hinahanap niya natin yung level. So, ang mangyayari yung sagot kagad is 7, what's this? 7,249,600. Ang galing, di ba po? So, ma-generate niya yun. Na-generate agad ng so, therefore, pwede niyang laruin. So, tingnan natin kung tama ba yung sagot natin. Here, it's 7,249,600. See? So, therefore, pwede mo laruin. O, pwede na ako mag-iba. Halimbawa, A, o, dear teachers, pwede nyo lang, gusto ko, ano siya? 1/2. A ko 1/2. So, A, 1/2. And then B, gusto ko siya, 2 lang. See? And then, ang sagot, negative 0.4140. So, pwede siyang laruin. So, napakaganda nung application na to. Okay? Now, dear teachers, kayo naman, with the use of Casio Calculator, now that you've downloaded the emulator and you have the calculator, okay nga, solve natin muna ito. Ito naman iba. Sige nga, calculate. Ito naman on rational expressions, rational numbers rather. Operations on rational numbers. So, 1/5 times 2, 6 times 3, 7 times 4, 8 plus and so on until 45/9 times 46/50. Siyempre, ang gagawin dyan ng bata, yung iba na hindi mabilis, iisa-isa yan. Pero meron dyang technique, right? So, see, may technique din dyan. Right? So, if you're going to know, sige, ano kayang sagot? Paki-type in niyo po yung sagot ninyo. Tingnan ko nga. Kasi ang bata gagawin niyo, type lahat hanggang 46/50. Pero hindi nila alam na may rule. Alam naman nila yung operations ng rational numbers. Sige nga, dear teachers, paki-type po natin kung ano yung sagot dyan sa additional activity na yan. Sige po. Sige, hintayin natin ang ating mga teachers. Yan. Ano kayang sagot? Doon po tayo sa comment section. Type po natin ang ating sagot. Pwede naman. Yan. Patching. Thank you, Ma'am Lolita Filomeno. Yan. Thank you din po for strong internet connection. Kasi hindi po ako naglalag. Ito ang ating struggle ngayon. Salamat. Salamat po. Ano kayang sagot? Na-excite ako. Oh. Sige, analyze natin. 1/5, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4, 8. Ano kayang sunod dito? Ang sunod po dyan, di ba, ay 5/9. Right? Ibig sabihin noon, kung alam ng bata, yan, that will be cancelled lang yung 5 operation. And then yung sunod niyan, 9, 9, makakancel din yan. Makakancel din yung 6, right? Makakancel din yung 7, makakancel yung 8, right? Ano pa ba? Makakancel din yung 45 sa taas, makakancel din yung 46. Ano lang matitira dyan? Ang matitira lang sa taas ay 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 at ang matitira sa baba ay 47, 48, 49, and 50. And then, pwede na siyang isolve. Right? Right? So that would be 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 over the numerator all over 47 times 48 times 49 times 50 for the denominator. So, gawin natin nga yan. 1. Siyempre, laki ng number eh. 2 times 3 times 4 over 47 times 48 times 49 times 50. Yan. The answer is 1 over 230,300. See? Pwedeng gawin ng bata yan. Ayun. Dun sa mga medyo advanced at gusto pang craving for more additional activities. Right? Now, how about this example? Yan. Nabigay ko na kanina kung paano gamitin yung pag-evaluate or pag-substitute ng numbers. Right? Pag-substitute ng numbers. Now, in this case, ang gagawin po natin ngayon ay this example. So, gagawin po natin tong next example. I know teachers na pwede nyo itong ibigay sa mga bata. I-center ko lang. Yan. Let A equals 3/5, B equals 11 over 7, and C equals 0.0025. Evaluate. See? A squared plus AB plus B squared all over C squared B cubed minus A cubed C squared. Sige, tinuruan ko na po kayo kanina at alam nyo na kung paano laruin yan kanina. So in this case, we have 3 letters or variables such as A, B, and C. So pwede nyo po yan ulit laruin. Sige, ano kaya ang sagot sa calcu? O pwede kayo mag-calcu dyan. Pwede nyo laruin yan. Siyempre, binigay ko lang po yung medyo may fraction na, may decimal na, pero kung gusto niyo integers lang din ang pwedeng ibigay ko. I'm just want to show yung minamaximize ko lang yung use ng calculator. Ang gagawin kasi niya ng bata, di ba? The usual yung gagawin ng bata ay ganito. Ayan, magaganda yan sa calcu, alam ko. Ang gagawin niya, ganyan. A squared, parenthesis, then bracket. Tama po ba? So, parenthesis ako, and then mag-bracket ako, ang haba. 3 over 5. Tama, ang haba po. Alam ko ano tayo dito, guilty. Guilty sa ganyan. Ini-isa natin. Minsan ganyan din ako. Pero nung discover ko itong app ng Casio, ng calculator, ay, ito lang pala yun, right? Shoutout po kay Ma'am Rosalinda Timaho. Hello, ma'am. A good friend also and a good mentor. Hello, ma'am. Sagot po tayo. Huwag niyo pong gagawin yung ginawa ko kanina na inisa-isa. Gamitin po natin. Sige, type po lang din. Sundan niyo po ako sa mga hindi nakasunod. A squared plus alpha. A, tandaan. The red color is for the alpha and then red yung mga nandito. Right? So press alpha first and then press the letter B plus alpha B squared. See? Yan lang itatype natin. Hindi na tayo magta-type na napakahaba. Napakadaming numbers and functions pa. Yan lang. Diba? Tandaan, magandang gawin natin to teachers para ma-check natin yung mga answers din ng bata pag nagbigay tayo ng activity. Right? Nagbibigay po kayo ng activity during your asynchronous time. So, magandang tulong po ito. And then, press calc. Yan. Press calc. So, again, hindi yan 1/2. It should be 3/5. Sige po. Unahan nyo na ako. 3/5. For B, that will be 11 over 7. Ano kayong sagot? 11 over 7. And then see, tatlo na yung letters na binibigay niya kasi tatlo yung letter or tatlong variable yung binigay mo. C is for 0.0025. Yan. And then press equal. See? Ang galing. Binibigay niya kagad yung sagot. 164,705.8824. See? So, tingnan natin kung tama tayo. Chinek yung calculate kung tama. No? 0.8824. See? Yan. And also, again, no, laruin nyo natin. Press cut. Again, ano yung gusto ko? 2 sa A. Ulitin ko na, review lang tayo. -3 naman sa B. C. And then C, gusto ko lang ay -1. So, pwede nyo na siyang baguhin. O, C, -1. Okay. -1. So, maganda siya na pwede nyo itulong din. Ayan. For those students that are advanced or who are advanced. Okay. So, yon. That's it for quarter 1, week 3 of grade 7. So, next week, pwede nyo na siyang i-apply. Ito, I will skip more on this. Iiwanan ko na sa inyo to. Pwede nyo nang gamitin din yan, ang exercise. And let's proceed now for the MELCs po ng grade 8, quarter 1, week 3. It's all about illustrates rational algebraic expression. In grade 8 po, diba, we tend to not discuss this one, right? Yung for what value or values of A, this rational expression meaningless. Minsan nakakalimutan to. Dapat yan, nadidiscuss po yan. Bakit siya kailangan i-discuss? Kasi para rin siyang fraction, right? Na dapat, ano ba dapat ang number na to? Di ba bawal paging 0 yung denominator? But in this question is meaningless. So, meaningless, ibig sabihin, kailan siya magiging meaningless? Yung denominator, yung buong fraction na to. Now, we tend na hindi natin i-lesson to, pero dapat nililesson siya. Nag-give emphasis din siya. Now, yung 3a plus 5, wala naman tayo dyan. Huwag mo natin galawin yung numerator. We're not after with the numerator, but rather the denominator. Ano ba yung magpapa-0? Again, last time you have your session yata with factoring, right? Pero tandaan natin ang mga bata natin, hirap din sa factoring. So therefore, in this case, with the help of the calculator, para maliwanag sa bata more, we can use this mode equation 5, press 5, and then hanapin natin yan. Since in quadratic expression siya, therefore, press 3, and then kunin natin yung mga numerical coefficients of each term. So 4a squared is 4, and then 4a is -68, and then for the constant now, press equals 145. So mag-generate siya ngayon equals 0 yon. So mag-generate siya ngayon na ang sagot ay x equals 29 over 2. So, nag-x na ako, sir. Or a, pwede natin a equals 29 over 2. Pwede natin gawin yan. 29 over 2. And then for another value of a also is 5 halves. Pwede natin gawin na gano'n. So in this case, pwede natin sabihin, okay, class, you know how to solve this one, right? Ano na sila sa equation? So that will be what? 2a, and then, lagay natin sa kabila, yung 29, that will be 2a minus 29. Equals 29 halves. Yung pala, ang tinanong natin din ay meaningless. 29 halves and 5 halves. Again, meaningless. So ano yung mga values ng a na magpapa-meaningless? A equals 29 halves, and then a equals 5 halves. So, that's it. 5 halves and 29 halves. Pwede nyo pang-check din yan sa bata. And then also, yung mga ganitong tanungan. Yan. What domain? Dapat alam ng bata rin yan. What is the domain of rational expression? 14x squared plus 11x minus 9 all over 5x squared plus 51x minus 27. So again, reminder lang po, the question is domain. Domain. Meaning to say, anong value ng x? Now, kung mapapansin nyo sa taas, 14x squared plus 11x minus 9 is factorable. Right? Pwede nyo factoring yan. Pwede natin yan i-factor. Pero tandaan, sa bata, paki-reiterate, kahit pinactor na yan at na-factor din tong baba, hindi po sila magka-cancel ng any terms. Bakit po? We are after the domain. Hindi natin pinapasimplify yung fraction. We are after the domain. If we are after the domain, all the possible values of x, right? All the possible values of x, at yung value ng x hindi magpapazero dyan, na magpapazero, syempre hindi natin kasama yon. So pwede nyo siyang reiterate na dapat ang papakailaman lang po nila ay denominator. Let me reiterate on that. Kasi all possible values of x. So you can use the calculator again, the equation. Now, the equation 56, 51, and negative 27. See? So that will be, the answers are 3/8. Yung x na yon 3/8. Yes, yan, reiterate nyo sa bata. And negative 97. Hindi yan ang sagot. Ang sagot ay, kasi the question is, what is the domain? Reiterate natin, yan yung restricted value. Yan yung restricted value na hindi pwedeng ilagay dito sa denominator kasi magiging meaningless siya dun sa, diba? See, the first question, meaningless siya. So therefore, what are the values of x, or what is the domain? So x, such that x are all real numbers, elements of real numbers, pwede lahat ng numbers except for negative 9/7 and 3/8. Kindly reiterate that to your students or point that out to your students. So yun ang kagandahan nun, with the use also of this tool. Yan. Next po tayo. So, hindi ko na po ilalagpasan ko na po yung, yes, correct. Sir Glenn, thank you. Yes, all real numbers, domain, except for negative 9/7 and 3/8. Yes. Okay. Meaningless po, pwede rin po yun, pwede rin pong undefined. Yan. Pwede rin po, kasi parang meaningless, o therefore, hindi siya magagamit. Meaningless. Pwede rin pong meaningless or undefined ang pwede nating term. Yan. So now, skip ko na po itong addition and subtraction natin because most dito sa mga estudyante yan, yung operations natin, is just, we can also help students to factor it out and give the rule. Now, I want to share with you this operations on rational expressions partner review. Kapag natapos nyo na po lahat ng operations on rational expressions, i-share ko po ito. Share ko lang po Meron po akong ginawa dito. Here. Share ko lang po sa aking screen. Yan. Sorry, hindi ko siya nabuksan agad. Yan. Ito po yung tinatawag nating, pwede nyo siyang pagawa sa bata. Ayan po. And they can work with pairs. Mapapansin niyo po ito. It's operations on rational expression partner review. What's the aim? Solve each problem individually. Write your answers in the answers column. See, ito yun. Problems in the same row have the same answer. Kasi yung red one. When fully simplified and factored, if you and your partner disagree on answer, work together to determine the correct solution. Remember that the goal is to help each other to be successful, have fun, show or work on a separate sheet of paper. So, pwede ito sa asynchronous nyo na ibigay sa base. See, kasi nyo, on the first column, ito yung problem. On the second column, yun yung dapat na answer ni partner. Then, itong pangalawa naman, si partner niya, ito yung answer. Kailangan different given pero same answers. Tama po ba? Different given pero same answer. So, magko-compare sila ngayon yan. Kailangan parehas tayo. Pag nag-iba tayo, there's something wrong. And we need to solve that. Yan. Kung gusto niyo po ng copy nito, send ko na lang po yung link to DepEd EduTech po. Pwede natin po natin gawin yan. So, yun po yun. And then next. Yan. That's for grade 8, quarter 1, week 4. Now, ito na yung week 5. Yan. On week 5, I think, dito na papasok yung rectangular coordinate system. Dito na rin papasok yung illustrate equation of the line into variables. But I'm going to tackle about illustrates and finds the slope of a line given 2 points equation ng graph. Tandaan, ang ibibigay natin sa bata ay slope lang. Using this Casio. Slope lang, i-discover natin paano nakukuha ang slope using this method. So, punta na muna tayo dito sa ating Calcu. Now, we're going to discuss this one using Calcu. Calculator-based po tayo. Yan. Gagawin natin is, for example, f of x equals 2x plus 3. Alam na ng bata, di ba, na prerequisite na-explain nyo na in two variables, and y is also denoted as f of x, right? Function of x. So, meaning to say, whatever the value of x here, x is the independent variable and y is the dependent variable. Kumbaga, marunong na din sila mag-substitute. Tama po ba? Doon sa prior to this lesson, na-discuss na yan. Now, ang gagawin natin, discover slope. Ano yan? Slope, given 2 points, given equation, and given the graph. So, paano po yun? Ang gagawin natin is we're going to go now to the mode, and then table. Gagamitin natin ay table 7. So, f of x. So, again, reiterate natin na y yan. And type natin 2x plus 3. 2x plus 3. Yan. We're going to notice ano yung binibigyan as part 1. Ibig sabihin, ano yung pwedeng values ng x na gusto mong range. Right? Values. So, I'll start with 0. Siguro negative na lang. Negative 1. Yan. And then, end ako siguro sa 5. Pwede na rin. So, type ulit 5. And then, ilang increment? Step 1 lang. Sa isa lang. So, therefore, yan. Mapapansin nyo, di ba? Yan na yung table of values. And we are also creating coordinates or points. Hindi lang 2 points yung lumabas, kundi we have, how many yan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ang dami niya. Ang dami. Hanggang 7 coordinates. Kasi yun ang ginawa. So marami pa siyang mapapakita mo sa bata na, okay, when x is negative 1, the value will be 1, 0, 3, 1, 5. So meron ka ng, kumbaga, wala pa silang kalam-alam. Ano ba yung tsura nung equation na yan, na y equals 2x plus 3? Ano ba yan? Ang alam ko lang, sinabi ni sir or ni ma'am na substitute lang daw ako ng value. Yan na yun. Ngayon, dito na papasok yung graphing. Ipapa-illustrate natin ngayon sa bata. Ano ba itsura ng graphing na yun? So, I'm going to use now, here, application of, on how to do this one, it's called autograph. It was given to us or shared with us by, shoutout po kay Dr. Ian Garces of Ateneo de Manila University. Hello po, Sir Ian. Thank you very much for introducing this application, autograph. Autograph 5. Actually, ano to? Magandang latest version na siya ng autograph. So, therefore, pwede niyo po i-press din, no? Ito yan, yung equation. Pero gagamitin ko po ito isa. Now, pwede niyo nang ipakita sa bata kung paano siya yung graph niya. So, dito nalalabas siya. So, nag-equation na tayo, nag-2 points na tayo, or nag-table na tayo. Ipapakita naman natin ngayon yung paano i-graph. So therefore, type key in y equals, since f of x is y, 2x plus 3. Pwede may key niya sa inyong laptop. And then, okay. So again, mag-generate ng line. Yan pala yung itsura nun. Pero, ano naman kinalaman ng line na yan dito sa mga points na nakikita ko or table ng graph? Anong kinalaman yan? Diyan mo ngayon, ipapa-reiterate sa bata or i-discuss ngayon, the negative 1 is also the points here on the table lies on this line. Yan. So sasabihin mo na gano'n. So negative 1, 1. So doon na rin papasok yung yung ipa-plot yung points. So negative 1, 1. Here, we have 0, 3. See? 0, 3. And then we have 1, 5. Yan. So, negative 1, 1. Sulat ko lang po. 0, 3. And then also 1, 5. Kahit tatlo lang. Kahit 3 points lang yung pakita nyo sa bata. 1.5. And then so on. So marami pa yan. Makita ng bata, ito pala yung sinasabi ni sir or ni ma'am, 2.7. Ayan o, marami pa po, 2.7. See? Pwede nyo yung discuss. Now, dun, hindi pa po ako nag-introduce ng slope, di ba? Papakita nyo ngayon. So, pasabihin sa bata, okay, from negative 1 to 1, look at the behavior of the graph. Doon na tayo papasok. Look at the behavior of the graph. Now, we all know that the change in y, yan, let's get for the change in y over the change in x. Change in y, change in. Ibig sabihin from negative 1, 1, aakyat ako. Yung ilan yung inakyat ko from this point to this point, from this point to this point. What is my change in y? Right? What is my change in y? Look at this point, sabihin nyo lang na ganon, that this is negative 1 and 3. So reiterate on that. So negative 1, 1 and negative 1, 3. What is the change in y? So alam naman nila nung pagkuha ng change, di ba? That will be what? Tumaas ako ng 2. 2. So your change in y is 2. And then your change in x, so pwede na natin change in x from negative 1, 3 to 0, 3. Ibig sabihin, sa y ako titingin, so ano ang pagbago ko? Sa x pala ako titingin, rather. So from negative 1 to 0, so 1 ang aking papunta dun sa change in x ko. And also, pwede mo rin sabihin sa bata na this is rise over run. Rise over run. Rise over run. Natin sa bata. Rise over run. So therefore, 2 over 1. And then, kuha tayo ulit ng ibang point. Kuha tayo ng ibang point. Let's have, for example, negative 1, 1 pa rin and 1, 5. So again, kunin natin ulit yung change in y niya from this point. That will be negative 1, 5. So makapansin dyan ng bata, from negative 1, 1 to negative 1, 5, ano nangyari? Ilan ang aking change in y? That is 4. And then, ang aking run, from negative 1 to 5, negative 1, 5 to negative, so negative 1 and 1, ilan yun? So that is from negative 1 to 1, 2. So mapapansin ng bata dyan ngayon that this is 2. And the first answer is also 2. So ilan yung ibig sabihin nun? The change in y over the change in x and the rise over run is what? Anong nangyari is yung change niya, the constant rate of change niya are all the same. Ibig sabihin that kahit anong point ang makuha ko dyan, pag kinuha ko ang rate of change nila or the rate of change or the ratio is 2, parehas lang din kahit sa ang point dyan, basta nasa line siya. Right? And that will be called as slope. Yun yung nasasabihin ngayon, yung slope. And that slope is the steepness of the line. So doon nalalagay slope. And then, pwede nyo nang sabihin din na, ano yon? That the paanong proseso ng pagkuha nyo ng change in y. In the change in y, we get first the y coordinate. We can say that the negative 1 and 3, for example, and negative 1, 1, we use what? We can denote this as y sub 2 na minus y sub 1. Alam ng bata yan. This is yan, di ba? Yung pagkuha ng rate of change. Change delta x over, doon naman tayo sa x. Titingnan lang nila x. Kasi sa 3, 3 minus 0. So x lang ako. Negative 1 and 0. That will be y sub 2 minus y sub 1. Or, pwede rin naman sabihin doon sa bata na be consistent lang. Sorry, it should be x sub 2. Sorry. Kabura lang tayo. Mali ang aking sulat. X sub 2 minus x sub 1. And then, pwede rin siyang y sub 1 minus y sub 2 all over x sub 2, x sub 1 minus x sub 2. Kailangan consistent. Kung inuna niya yung y sub 2, dapat sa baba x sub 2. Inuna niya yung y sub 1, dapat sa baba x sub 1. And that is what we call slope. Doon na lalabas. Napakita doon sa tatlo na napakita natin yung napakita natin yung equation, right? And then to generate yung equation na to generate the values of x and y, the coordinate, we use the calculator here 0, 3, this calculator, and then we graph also. Na, okay, doon na papasok yun. Okay, ano ngayon ay tsura nung slope? So siya ay pataas. Rising from left to right, or increases from left to right. And then doon yun na pwedeng sabihin din, how about this one? Tandaan, hindi niyo muna ibibigay yung shortcut. Ang maganda dito, dapat alam ng bata yung concept. Wag muna tayong bigay agad ng shortcut. Ang importante dito, konsepto. Dapat yung essentials nun nakuha niya bago natin ibigay ang mga shortcut. Tandaan po yun. Now, yun. So, and then we can also say that slope of a line is the steepness of a line wherein it's vertical change over horizontal change, y sub run, or y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, or y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. So yun ang kagandahan nun. And reiterate, yes, the possibilities for a line slope. So for the positive slope, it increases from left to right. And then for the negative slope, see, decreases from left to right also, from left and then right. And then for zero slope, yan, horizontal siya. And then for an undefined slope, it's vertical. So, yun po ang maganda doon. Now that we discussed already the weeks 3, 4, 5 for grade 7 and grade 8, now I want you to have this activity. Yan. Ito po ay in-introduce din sa atin nakaraan ng ating DepEd EduTech. Right? Inisus ito ng ating DepEd EduTech. Now, ito ay napakaganda. Alam kong ginagamit na ito ng karamihan. It's what we call la quiz is. Napakaganda nito. Sobra ginagamit ko rin po ito. Interactive siya kasi yung mga bata na gamification ang dating, right? Gamification siya in which pwede siyang mag-compete, pwede rin siyang i-compete ng sarili niya, na ang mga bata ay nag-enjoy. It can be a form of assessment, formative assessment, or summative assessment. At the same time, the students are learning, and then enjoying while learning. Yun naman kailangan dapat na-enjoy ng bata ang gagawin. It can be synchronous or asynchronous. Di ba po ba? So at least, meron pa ring material or app na pwedeng gawin. Now, I want you to do now, join kayo. Mag-join tayo. Join myquiz.com, try natin, and then type key in joinmyquiz.com and use the code 128883. 12883. So, mag-wait po ako ng participants. Sige po. Join po tayo para makita niyo yung ganda ng quizzes. Actually, yung ibang teachers po ay ginagamit na ito, I think. Pero hindi po lahat ay familiar pa dito sa quizzes. Yan, may nag-join na. Sir Glenn, thank you. Sino pa to? Sir Lambert. Sir Lambert, ikaw ba to? Ako si Lambert. Ikaw ba yan, Sir Lambert? So, dalawa pa lang. Pwede rin tong competition by group. Pwede rin. Maganda po itong quizzes. Nagagamit ko siya sa aking lesson. Maganda po ito. Promise. Ako, nag-enjoy din ako kasi tinry ko siyang laruin. Sige po, join po tayo, dear teachers. Sir Glenn pa lang at Sir Lambert pa lang. Sir, let's see, Ma'am Den or Sir Den, FS? Yan. Si Den, FS. Tatlo na. Join tayo, dear teachers. Tapos pwede siyang explore yung quizzes. Kasi maganda rin na yung sinishare nung DepEd EduTech, di ba, nagagamit natin. Talagang punong-puno tayo nung summer na mga different apps na pwedeng gawin. Kumbaga, ano yung available apps na pwede natin gawin at pwede siyang i-navigate. Yan. Sige, 3 pa lang po. 3 pa lang. Siguro kahit mga 10. Join. Kung pwede nga lang ako mag-join eh. Sige po. Yes, ano po, while we're waiting for participants, yes, may I request for a copy of this webinar? Yes po, yes. You may have this copy po ng aking presentation later. Sabihin naman po ni Sir Bads yun and ni Sir Joel. Yan, si Sir Mark Vidalio. Sir Mark, join ka kaya? Yung head ko po, in-encourage ko pong mag-join. Sir Mark, join na. Ayan. Again, thank you din po sa aming, shoutout po sa aming OIC SDO Makati, Ma'am Carlin Sitilia. Thank you very much din po. Kay Ma'am Angie Jalimaw. Hello po, miss you Ma'am Angie. Siya po ay retired na former naming chief CID chief namin dati. Yan, we are 4. We are 4. Sige, join lang po ng join. Hello po, Ma'am Daisy Sanggalang. Shoutout po sa mga friends ko dyan na nanonood. Yan, join lang po. Hello po, Ma'am Edita from Davao del Norte. Nakakatuwa. Nakakatuwa po na you are with us to learn more. Kasi ang grade 7 at grade 8 po, tandaan natin na ito yung mga bata pa, lalo ng grade 7. So gusto nila ng interactive. Ng ano pa to? Mga hyper pa ang mga batang ito. Hello ma'am from San Jose Elementary School. So 4 lang to. Start na natin. Naku, hindi po mahirap yung example natin. Example, para makita nyo lang yan, para bang ma-experience nyo lang po kung ano ba yung quiz is. O, shoutout kay Ma'am Reverie. Pwede kang mag-join, Ma'am Reverie. Ma'am Desiree Joy, Ma'am Edita Cuenco, Ma'am Gacha, and Ma'am Marisa Razon. Sir Olops, good morning. Hello po, Ma'am Tuesday de la Yarte. Yan. Mga maksay po namin na teachers. Hello po for joining. Hello. Okay na, 4 lang. Ayaw yata nila. Yan. Si Ma'am Che. Thank you, Ma'am Che. O, isa na lang. Mag-start. Kasi makikita nyo ng tsura. Yung mga hindi pa po nag-start gawin to. Or kung ginagawa nyo to, join kayo. Kasi para alam nyo yung feeling ng estudyante nyo kung paano siya sinasagutan. Yan. Okay? So, sige, okay na to. 5 na mag-join. O, wag po tayong, sir, wag tayong mawawala. O, start na tayo, ha? O, start na tayo. Yan. Go! So, ito, kasi niyo po ang ganda ng sound. Meron siyang sounds, kung narinig niyo ba? So, ang leaderboards natin ay si Sir Glenn, Sir Lambert, ako si Lambert, then FPS, Alpo, yan. See? So, nagsasagot na sila ngayon. Ito yung mga questions. Yan, no? Ito po yung mga questions yan. Pwede nyo pong maglagay ng find the slope. Ito, may figure siya. Yan. Yan, no? May picture, pwede nyo lagyan. Nagsasagot na po sila ngayon. And then, mapapansin nyo po, may ilan yung correct and incorrect answers. Tanggalin ko lang po yung sound. Yan. So, mapapansin nyo ngayon, sila ay kasalukuyan. Kumaga na mo monitor ni teacher yung mga sinasagutan ng mga bata. Ayan, see? I prepare 4 questions. And pwede nyo po siyang lagyan ng seconds. So, pansin nyo, yung isa ay nakakuha ng 12 seconds lang. Pero pwede siya lagyan ng 45 seconds, 30 seconds, pero mabilis silang sumagot. 11 seconds, 12 seconds. At nakita nyo pa kung correct or incorrect po. So, in this example number 6, 2 ng incorrect, 12 seconds po nila sinagutan. So, nakikita nyo kagad. And then, sino ba ang ating leading? We have 6 participants. So, leaderboard natin, Okay, si Sir Apple. Apple. Yun ba? Ayan na. Tumataas na si Sir Den. So, pansinin niyo po, and then may pointing system. And also, it can generate also yung mga sinagot ng bata. Kung ano yung mga sinagot ng bata. So, yun ang maganda. Kung baga nakikita ninyo, real time din, kung naka-live talaga, kasi ang ginamit ko po ay live, makikita nyo na, nagsasagot ang mga bata. Okay, so leading na po is Apple, Gara. So, ibig sabihin, pwede ring unlimited hanggang sa makakomplete niya or kung gusto nyo, i-end na lang yung test. Right? So, yun po ang kagandahan ng quiz is. Yan. It's interactive as well as free. Ang mahalaga dyan ay free ang ating application. That's why Casio also providing free emulator. And it's also for 90 days. See? For 90 days, magagamit na siya. Sige, sagot lang ng sagot and then siguro, yan, congratulations sir or ma'am Apple Gara. So, nakita mo yung pointing system, 3,360 points na siya. See, umahabol po si Sir Den FS. So, yun po ang gamit nitong quiz easy. I-end ko na siya. Sige, sagot lang po kayo na sagot. Hindi ko siya i-end kasi makuha ninyo. So, that's it. Yun po yung gamit ng calculator for this session. Sana po naipakita ko sa inyo kung ano yung use ng calculator, yung integration ng calculator, and technology on how to teach students. And then, thank you rin po for watching. Have a great weekend. And then, I would like to promote my mini YouTube channel po. Medyo recalculations po ang tawag doon. Recalculations. Actually, I made videos for grade 9. Actually, grade 9 po ang aking tinuturo, grade 9. And my intention for doing this is para yung mga bata during my asynchronous time, yun po ang panonoorin nila. Kasi iba po yung online teaching ko, synchronous time, doon sa video lessons ko. Yun po yung mga examples na hindi ko po na-discuss sa aking synchronous time, nilalagay ko po siya sa asynchronous para bahala na po ang batang mag-review at yung mga more examples na hindi ko pa po na ibigay sa mga bata na very essential at variations ng example. Kasi po, at tandaan, ang synchronous po is for sa math po kasi iba. Sa atin po kailangan ma-discuss yung essential. So, paano naman yung ating other examples? We don't have time. Pwede po kayong gumawa ng videos. Yun po, I encourage you to make also videos. Medyo mahirap siya sa una pero rewarding kapag ang bata ay nagpapasalamat sa iyo dahil sir, we can play back the videos and more examples are given. So, thank you very much po, Casio and the MATHtech for having me this time and this day. Marami pong salamat. Sir Bads.
Ayan, thank you very much, Sir Ralmond Roca. So at this point, tawagin na natin ang ating co-host, Ma'am Reverie Vargas. Hello, Ma'am Rev.
Hi, sir. Hello po. Thank you so much, Sir Roca. Ang dami naming natutunan ngayong umaga. Jam pack.
Yes.
Jambak pa.
Ang kagandahan doon, Ma'am Rev, no?
Jam pack.
Hindi lang talagang ang ganda ng discussion ni Sir kasi talagang nagbigay pa siya ng other alternatives on how to present, on how to administer different kinds of assessment. Talagang nag-stand by the name yung session ni Sir na maximizing the use of Casio emulators. And Ma'am
Yes.
Rab, iwanan ko kayo sandali, may aayusin lang.
Sige po, sige po. Yan. Thank you so much, Sir Roca. Sobrang jam-pack and we really see how calculators can be at aid in our current situation, no? It's been a long time. I mean, we have these calculators with us, pero seeing the benefit of the calculators with your presentation, sobrang overwhelming and at the same time, very engaging in the part of the teachers and the students as well. Yan. Any last take para sa ating mga participants? Baka may pahabol pa.
May pahabol pa. Actually, maraming pa namang pwedeng gawin pa. na lessons, weeks 3, 4, 5. Not only weeks 3, 4, 5, Ma'am Revry, madami pa siya.
Yes.
With the use. Actually, sa akin yan, realization tandaan natin minsan, ang calculator natin noon, nung face-to-face, tandaan natin, nakatago lang yan, right? Nakatago lang yan.
Yes.
Kasi hindi natin nagagamit, pang check lang natin, akala natin ganun lang. Pero ngayon kasi na pandemic, ano ba yung mga essential na pwede natin gawin na with the use of calculator na realize natin sa bata or mapapakita natin sa bata na technology. Actually, hindi naman natin, kumbaga yung pandemic na to, talagang realization din na, kailangan talaga natin i-embrace yung technology kahit ayaw natin.
Yeah. Yes, right? And it's an option that we're not going to take. Tama naman, 'di ba, Sir Bads?
Yes, ma'am, no.
And
Talagang no session ni Sir Michael Lee, talagang in-establish kagad ni Sir Michael Lee na we need to teach yung traditional way on how to solve yung mga things, and then with the help of calculator, na-augment siya kasi alam naman natin may mga bagay, may mga topics sa math na talagang we need to use calculators. And I think it is allowed naman lalo na sa junior high school at sa senior high school. So malaking tulong talaga lalo na itong emulators natin dahil alam naman natin yung ibang learners natin hindi sila nakakapag-afford bumili ng physical calculator. Then meron tayong mga emulators na available, and talagang ito yung malaking tulong na binibigay ng Casio Calculator sa atin.
Yes. And if they do have their calculator, nowadays, tama si Sir Roca, during the school days, hindi yan nagagamit ng bata on their own use. Kasi nga, syempre, they have to do it manually in school. But now, no one will verify whether they're correct or not. And actually, the teachers, we use the calculators, but we're not showing everything on how we're going to use it. But with the emulator, mapapakita natin ano ba yung mga tamang course of action, ano ba yung mga tamang proseso, ano yung dapat pindutin or ano yung dapat puntahan if we are actually going through this. And maximizing the use of scientific calculators is a good cause kasi syempre marami pala siyang gamit. Yun yung isang bagay na hindi natin na nami-miss out natin, no? And we're happy that we have EduTech who's providing for us also Casio EdTech teachers to share what we know so that others will benefit from it. Kasi parang kung nasa sarili mo lang yan, edi ikaw lang din yung gumagamit, no? Katulad ni Sir Roca, being an EdTech teacher, binigay niya na, ang dami niyang binigay ngayon na something in hand for our teachers to put inside their pocket na, ay, naalala ko to, I saw this in the talk of Mr. Roca, then I'm going to use it. I'm going to tweak it. Depende dun sa topic na i-discuss ko, but at least you already have an idea on how you're going to use it, and maybe our dear teachers can also learn from that na pwede ko tong gawin on this particular topic din kasi na-maximize nga yung pagpapakita on how we can use our calculators. And for our students, sobrang beneficial. At least nakita nila, ganun pala siya. Gamitin, yun.
Tsaka po yung ibang functions din ng calcio. Ito totoo ako noon. Admitted ako, may scientific calculator na ang Casio noon, pero napakasimple lang na add, subtract, ganun lang, pero hindi natin na-explore yung ibang functions niya. Hindi natin na ma-maximize. So at least, not only for students, as well as teachers, yung teachers natin, di ba, kahit in different age yan, na-explore natin na ito pala yung gamit noon, tamang paggamit at tamang pinakamabilis na paraan na paggamit ng calculator na to.
Gamit ng calculator. Yes. I agree.
Tsaka natutuwa rin ako kasi, yes.
Napansin ko lang habang nagsasalita ka, sir, parang ang ganda ng t-shirt.
Ay,
parang wala tayo niyan, Sir Roca. Yan, sa Maksay. Antaray Maksay, at saka meron pang isang naka-t-shirt. Nakita mo ba yung black, Sir Roca?
Oo, parang malamig ba? Parang gusto ko yun.
Baka naman.
Ay, oo nga. Parang kasi blue lang, pero dark blue eh.
So, ayan. Speaking of calculators, talagang ever since, ito na ang partner ng DepEd sa pagtulong sa ating mga mag-aaral, sa ating mga teachers to deliver our math lessons in a fun and easy way. So let's all welcome our Casio Education Unit Head, Mr. Joel Serrano. Hello, Sir Joel.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, teachers. Maraming salamat sa participate for today. Good morning, Mr. Roca and Ma'am Revy, Sir Buddy. I'd like to congratulate Sir Roca for the very wonderful and juicy presentation. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Rebs, pull pack or jump pack? Bata. Anyway, I think this is what we have envisioned nung ginagawa namin yung concept ng bagong series na to. Yung aming concept is ma-integrate si Casio technology sa synchronous discussions during this online learning. So yung mga teacher participants natin, if you want a copy ng presentation ni Mr. Roca, we will share it. Napakabait ni Mr. Roca, i-share niya yan. So ipopost namin sa Casio page namin kung paano niyo makukuha yung presentation ni Mr. Roca at lahat ng naging previous na talks ng aming Casio technical teachers. So i-share namin sa inyo yan para magamit nyo. And that's a good thing, no? And thank you, Ma'am Reb, for supporting this discussion with Mr. Roca. And nakapanood namin kahapon yung DepEd TV na presentation for senior high school statistics.
Yes.
Napakaganda. Congratulations.
Yes.
Episode.
And then congratulations po sa buong DepEd TV.
Wala ako.
Congratulations sa inyo.
Magaling yung DepEd TV. So, lalo na yung sa elementary, yung Mr. Buddy, naabangan ko palagi.
Wala na, sir. Tapos na. Hanggang 2 episodes lang ako nun, sir.
Ako po bilang viewer, it pays din sa, I pay tribute po sa inyo lahat sa DepEd TV kasi alam ko kung gaano kahirap ginagawa yan behind the scenes. Alam ko yan, Ma'am Reverie Vargas. Kumaga napakaganda ng DepEd TV kasi kumaga ang maganda din ito, tumutulong din DepEd TV sa mga bata. Ito namang seminar natin, webinar for professional development ng mga teachers.
Speaking of that, Sir Almond, no? Parang ngayon, kung papasin dito ako sa parang gubat, nandito ako sa Rave Park, sa Rainforest sa Pasig City. So dito kami nag-shoot ng ilang episodes ng Filipino 2 and Filipino 2 and English 2 na lessons natin. So medyo nakakaano rin. At maraming salamat din kay Sir Joel kasi ang ating mga Casio Tech teachers, ang mga field expert din natin sa mathematics ay kasama nating nagka-quality assure ng ating mga material. So for the information of the viewers po, ang script po ng ating mga teacher broadcasters ay sila po mismo ang gumagawa. If you are teaching senior high school statistics, gagawa ka ng script mo and then our third-party evaluator will evaluate the script. 2 beses yan. And then pag nagkaroon na ng go signal, the teacher will have the shooting day kung saan talagang iti-tape na natin yung video lesson nila. And after a week, ilalabas yung video lesson for preview, for comments and suggestions. And tulad na sinabi ni Yusek Alain before, may mga nakakalusot dahil hindi naman lahat perfecto. So, kaya nga di ba nagkaroon tayo ng error watch? So, doon natin ipapadala lahat ng feeling natin na may errors or may malicious sa ating mga, hindi lang malicious, may mga errors sa grammar, sa content, or mga typographical errors, pwede natin ipadala ron. Ito ang sinasabi natin, no? There's an avenue kung saan papadala natin yung mga comments and suggestions natin. Huwag nating ibalandra sa Facebook, and I hope all of us will help. Lalo na si Sir Joel, kung di ako nagkakamali, bumisita to sa field nung nakaraan.
Yes.
Hindi ko na sabihin yung school kung saan, pero binisita niya si Ma'am Reverie to check kung ano ba yung nangyayari.
Thank you.
And syempre, moral support din.
Yes. And also, on the second episode of STAT, I will be using Casio calculators to see also how it will be maximized in classes. So I hope you're going to watch that episode soon. Parang ang gaganda ng t-shirt nila, Sir Roca, no? Nakita mo ba, Sir Roca?
Nag-polo shirt lang ako, pero ibang polo shirt at saka jacket yan.
Yes!
Parang may logo kasi. Maganda kasi may logo. Kasi yung logo ko, ayan, oo.
Ay.
Ayan.
Malapit pala dyan, Sir Bad.
Naghihintay tayo sa isa nating commentator. So habang naghihintay tayo, would you like to share your...
Magkwentuhan.
Yeah, kwentuhan muna tayo.
Yes, yes. Oo nga. Ako naman po, siguro there is no one who's an expert at our current situation. Sa totoo lang, it's a learning
Okay.
experience for all of us. Even for us teachers who've been having online classes. This is something new. And since it's something new, it's a learning experience, we might as well learn from each other. So if there are things that are unclear, if there are mistakes committed, the best way is to correct that mistake so that it will not happen again. And that's really good about learning, no? That's one thing that's perfect about learning is because what's important is we learn from those mistakes that we committed. We learn from not only the mistakes, but we learn something new every day with our discussion from our student. Tama ba, Sir Roca?
Yes.
Di ba?
Totoo. Actually ngayon medyo ang realization ko din diyan yung mahirap kasi sa virtual din dahil hindi naman nakikita talaga yung bata. Nakikita mo lang sila
Yes.
minsan lang pero hindi tsaka yung parang lahat tayo nangangapa, totoo 'yan. Nangangapa
Correct.
tayo
I
lahat. So,
agree.
ang nagugustuhan ko lang kasi is DepEd and Casio are doing this, yung talagang binibigay nila
Yes.
lahat ng
Yes.
opportunities na not only opportunities, but as well yung mga ano bang puwede nating pang gawin bilang teacher para sa
Correct.
virtual classroom natin.
And you will see the passion in sharing for these two institutions that their heart is not really for just developing something new, but the heart of EduTech and the heart of Casio is on imparting what they have, the best of the ability, in the best of their ability to be able to make the education, contribute in the education of the Philippines one way or another. And that's one thing that's good, no? Kaysa naman magsiraan, magtulungan tayo for the betterment of
Yan, sabi ko nga
education.
kanina,
Tama.
sabi ko nga, if you hate to hate, then you
You
love.
hate. You hate to hate, you love.
'Di ba? Kung ayaw mo ng
Parang
nega,
familiar sa akin yun.
'di ba? Kung ayaw mo ng nega, 'di ba gusto mo lang mag-love,
Yes.
love, love. So,
If you love
yun
to
ang
love,
maganda.
you love.
Yes.
And
Oh,
if you love to hate, you
you
hate.
hate,
Take
siyempre.
note. Yes,
Okay.
that's
So,
one
So
thing
at this
beautiful,
point,
no?
Ma'am Reverie, no? I
Yes.
think
Andiyan na
ready na
yata.
po
Andyan na po.
ang ating
Wow.
special
sino yan?
commentator this
Sino
Oo,
yan?
this
na-miss ko na
afternoon.
yan.
Oh,
Na-miss ko
sino
yan.
to?
I think
Na-miss
he
ko
is
to.
a former education program supervisor of mathematics and an chief of school governance and operations division of DepEd Makati. Correct me if I'm wrong, ma'am. Ma'am Angelina Jalimao.
Si Ma'am Angie.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, parang correct me
Hi,
if I'm wrong,
ma'am.
talagang wrong.
Sorry, ma'am.
Kasi chip, CID chip ako, hindi ako SGOD. Curriculum
Okay po.
and Implementation
Implementation
Division.
Division. Ayan, ulit natin, ma'am. Our former chief of Curriculum Implementation Division of DepEd Makati, Ma'am Angelina
Angelita.
Jalimao. Ayan, correct naman.
Okay. Live na ba ako?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So marami
Yes,
na
Very
ma'am.
live.
Okay. So best morning to everybody and everyone. It's my pride and pleasure to be invited by Sir Joel Serrano in this Casio technology session. And I'm so proud, really, and impressed with what Sir Ralmond Roca has shared to our teachers and to all those who are in this Facebook Live. You know, I'm really so impressed kasi yung pinakita niyang strategies, operations on integers, rational expressions, yung functions, the linear functions, the graphing, yan talaga yung mahirap ituro. Kaya nga sinama yan sa MELC. At ako'y labis na naliligayahan dahil sa naipakita niyang pagtuturo ay ginamit niya yung discovery and exploratory approach leading to the enhancement of critical thinking skills of our students. Kasi yan yung one of the two basic goals of education in mathematics. At naituro niya ito sa pamamagitan ng alam niyo nakakatuwa dahil yung pagtuturo ng mga topics na diniscuss niya, inaabot yan ng isang semestre, na ilang araw, ilang buwan. Pero ngayon, 1.5 hours, naituro niya halos lahat with the aid of the Casio Scientific Calculator. At ako'y labis na natutuwa kay Sir Joel kasi continuously ini-improve nila yung Casio. Nung araw, ano lang yan, scientific calculator na pangkaraniwan, pero ngayon kakaiba, may emulator pa. Pero ang Makati, DepEd Makati, ever since talagang gumagamit ng Casio. Kaya nga, kumbaga, ang Makati Science High School, ang lahat ng secondary schools of Makati, nagkaroon ng scientific calculator sa mga bata during those years na ako pa yung supervisor. Sapagkat alam ko na talagang kailangan ito ng mga bata para sa easy at yung pag-generate ng rules. Nakita nyo with the use of the calculator na ipakitang turo ni Sir Almond ng mahusay yung yung operations lahat nakuha na samantalang nung araw 1 linggo yung addition, 1 linggo subtraction, pero ngayon napakabilis. And of course, ang technology natin ngayon ay talagang kailangan with this new normal. So, mga nanonood ngayon sa programang ito, ako ay nagpapasalamat sa Panginoon na tayo ay binigyan ng ganitong technologies na makakatulong sa pag-aaral ng mga bata at lagi nating isipin na tayong lahat ay sama-sama para tayo ay magkaroon ng continuous education in the midst of this pandemic. So with that, I would like to congratulate all of you. Congratulate Sir Joel, the Casio Philippines, and also the EdTech, and everyone na nagbigay ng effort for this very exciting at very yung sharing natin ngayon ng education ay talagang napakagaling. So congratulations and to God be the glory. Continue to be inspiration to our teachers and learners. Thank you very much.
Oy. Tashi delay, ma'am.
Tashi delay, best happen. Kasi marami nagtatanong, bakit daw best ang aking ginagamit when I greet? You know, yung best talaga, believe that you can make it. Kagaya mo, you believe. Talaga naman, kaya nandiyan ka pa hanggang ngayon at talagang nag-i-improve ang ating strategies.
Marami ko na sa kaso, mama.
Yung E, expect great things will happen. And S is share the talents that you have. Okay. Share the talents, the time, and the treasure. And T, of course, you have to be thankful to our Lord for all these challenges. And for all these blessings.
Ano?
Tuwa si Revy, oh.
Ma'am, na-miss kita. Ngayon lang kita nakita. Yes, true.
Surprise daw ako surprise.
Dapat nagparamdam ka. Sabi ko parang nagpaparamdam si Maagin pala. Akala ko nanonood ka ng ma'am.
Okay. Ay, naghihintay lang ako na imbitasyon, ano?
Namiss na lima magturo, actually, din, no, ma'am?
Siguro sa mga apo ko.
So, yun.
Thank you so much,
Talaga
ma'am.
Ma'am Rev. First time ko na din makita si ma'am, pero with his reactions and suggestions at yung kanyang insights sa ating session, talagang makikita mo na marami talagang tumitingala at patuloy na tumitingala kay ma'am ang hinita sa kanyang mga nagawa sa SDO Makati. And isa sa mga patunay natin dyan, si Ma'am Reverie at si Sir Almond at ang iba pa natin mga speakers from SDO Makati.
Exactly. Ma'am had been a mentor for us
hello,
for a long
Sir Bobby.
time. Yeah.
Yes, Sir Joel.
Yeah, i-share ko lang, no. Si ma'am, I have a goosebumps right now. Kasi parang I'm excited to see Ma'am Angel, no. I think the last time I saw her, I think around 3 or 4 years ago. Alam mo, si Ma'am Angel, bata pa ako sa Casio, kasama ko na yan. During her time, during her guidance, binigyan niya ng mga calculators, scientific calculators, yung buong distrito ng Makati. Munisipyo ba? Buong Makati.
Division.
Baga
Buong
talagang
Makati.
she's very supportive of technology-driven classes talaga. Thumbs up ako dyan ka Ma'am Angel eh. Kaya nga, sabi pala ni Chip Arnello, shout out mo daw siya ma'am. Sabi ni Chip Olops. Kaya ni Sir Vidalio.
Ernel, ako namimiss ko na yung mga batang yan. Si Ernel, ang ating chip talaga. Chip niya. Minsan nakakalimutan ko yung first name. Chip talaga kasi tawag ko eh.
Yeah. Thank you Ma'am Angel for guesting this wonderful show na every
Miss
Saturday
you.
na professional development ng
Stay
Casio.
healthy, Mama.
And we miss
Stay
you.
healthy and safe.
Okay, I'm just a text away.
Yes. So,
Maraming
Yes,
salamat ma'am.
ma'am.
yes.
Thank you po.
At this point siguro, let's have our concluding statements from our guests and our facilitators this morning. Let's start with Sir Almond.
Ayan. So again po, thank you very much po for having me this morning. Actually po, maraming salamat po at na-share ko sa inyo yung somehow may natutunan po kayo kung paano siya ituro. This coming weeks po sa inyong mga loob ng virtual classroom, and we all know that medyo struggle siya pero bibigay po natin yung best natin at nawa po ay maging healthy po tayo lahat, maging safe pa rin, and then with the help of Calcu Calculator ay mas mapapagaan po natin yung mga lesson natin at mabilis na maintindihan ng bata. Maraming pong salamat sa inyo, DepEd, EdTech, and Casio Sir Joel and Sir Bads. And Ma'am Angie, thank you very much po. Nagulat ako, and Ma'am Rev.
Yes, sir.
Again, may wait lang po. The more you practice, the better the result. Kung tama ang ituturo.
Yeah, so bago na, pasalamatan natin si Ma'am si Ma'am Angel na wala na siya, siguro ka na tapos na. So Ma'am Angel, thank you for those words of wisdom, and let's have now Ma'am Reverie Vargas.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sir Roca. Thank you, ETU, and also Casio Calculator for providing the teachers a place where where learning is very positive, where learning our technology actually makes an ease in education. And of course, thank you for entrusting to our dear teachers who watch. Thank you also for entrusting ETU and Casio that of your time and effort in participating with us this morning until to now. It's already afternoon. So God bless you all. Thank you po, and we hope to look more of you on the next activities of Casio and EdTech.
Ayan, so napakaganda ng message ng Reverie. Let's have Sir Joel Serrano. Sir Joel.
Hoy, thank you again to everybody na nag-participate today. May nagtanong pala kanina, saan daw mabibili yung mga Casio calculators? It's already out in the market sa mga authorized dealers namin. You can check it out na sa mga retail shops. And online na rin, meron kami sa online. And next week, abangan nyo, may bago na naman tayong exciting discussion. We invited one Casio teacher na magaling sa online din. So yun, maraming salamat and shout out sa nanonood kay Sir Mark Anthony Vidalio at kay Sir Chip Olops na nanonood ngayon. Maraming salamat. Thank you Sir Buddy, Sir Mark, Sir Mark Sico, thank you.
Yes,
Binata,
thank you.
sorry.
So ayan, so tapos na pala, Ma'am Reverie, tapos na mag-message, and Sir Almond and Sir Joel Serrano. Again, maraming
Sir
salamat
Almond,
sa ating guest
congratulations.
co-host. Yes, sir. Ayan.
Thank you po.
I'd like to congratulate Sir Almond. Thank you very much, and Ma'am Revy for
Thank you
taking
po.
some time
Yeah.
to attend this workshop. Salamat Sir
So
Buddy.
ayan, again, thank you, Sir Almond. Thank you, Ma'am Reverie. And thank you,
Yes.
Sir Joel Serrano. So ayan po, natapos na naman po ang ating 10th session for Casio Tech webinar and technology session sponsored by Casio Calculators Philippines in partnership with DepEd Educational Technology Unit. So tulad yan na sinabi namin sa umpisa pa lang, what we are experiencing right now is something new to all of us. We are not ready for this, but the Department of Education is trying its best to cope up with the changes that is happening around us. At isa sa mga munting handog ng Educational Technology Unit to our teachers is to pag-provide ng mga professional development avenues kung saan ang mga teachers natin ay may hahanda natin sa new normal. At isa pa sa pinaghandaan ng Kagawaran ng Edukasyon ay ang paglulunsad ng ating DepEd TV kung saan ang mga learners natin ay maaaring manood sa telebisyon upang makasunod at makapakinig sa mga discussions na kanilang mga guro. Tulad ng sinasabi namin nung umpisa, bilang bahagi ng Kagawaran ng Edukasyon, isa sa ating mga responsibilidad ay suportahan ang mga gawain at ang mga programa ng ating kagawaran tungo sa pagkatuto ng ating mga mag-aaral. At lagi nating iisipin, sama tayo, tulong-tulong tayo sa pagsulong ng edukalidad sa ating bansa. Muli, magkita-kita po ulit tayo susunod na Sabado para sa isa na namang siksik, liglig at nag-uumapaw na professional development session for our teachers. Hanggang sa muli, ako po ang inyong lingkod, Ginoong Salvador E. Malansala the First.